Hello and welcome to another great edition of Take20. I'm Dr. Duke, the Director of Schools for Murfreesboro City Schools.
And I'm Maria Johnson, the principal of Scales Elementary School. We are so happy to be planning our summer shows. Before we begin, there are 3 hidden objects that we want you to find throughout this episode. A giant s'more, a camper, and a lantern.
Sounds like we are ready for the summer for sure.
So speaking of summer, when you're thinking of learning opportunities outside the classroom, what do you think about?
Well, with sports, you learn to follow rules, work as a team, and exhibit good sportsmanship. Or you can go to the library and get to experience the power of a really great book.
You know, you're right on track, but I'm thinking of another activity. I'm going to give you a hint. It's something that I do weekly, and many times my kids are with me. Well, they used to be when they were younger. This place is full of learning opportunities and food.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. The grocery store, right? The grocery store is a trip that can be a fantastic family event full of reading, math, and science. It takes a chore and makes it into a family experience.
As parents, we had to get creative and keep our children engaged and occupied, and sometimes just to survive the grocery experience.
So let's join up with Miss Sherry and Miss Cindy to begin our shopping experience.
Thank you, Dr. Duke. Cindy, I'm so glad to have you with me today, the Queen of Math.
Oh, it is so much fun. I always look forward to this. So thank you for inviting me.
Oh, I just love having you. Can you believe that summer is up on us?
No.
School is, wow.
Wrapping up. Summer's here. Temperatures are warmer. Isn't
Thank
that
goodness.
lovely?
Thank goodness.
Yes.
The year has flown by.
Yes.
But I always look forward to warmer weather, kids getting outside. And you know what I was thinking about the other day? Even though school might not be in or getting close to being out, learning is all around us.
You know, that is really true. When you think about it, just anywhere you go, road trip, in the car, you see the billboards, the posts. Learning is everywhere.
Yeah, there's reading, math, science.
Yes.
And you know where one place you can find all of that sometimes?
Well, there's lots of places, but I don't know. Which is your favorite?
I'm thinking about the grocery store.
Oh my goodness, yes, that is perfect. That is perfect, yes.
And I actually have a book about some cats going to a grocery store because they need a little snack after they've been to the park. You want to see what's in store in this book with the cats?
I cannot wait.
This is titled Pete the Cat's Trip to the Supermarket.
Oh, I love the Pete the Cat books.
Me too. Pete and Bob are hungry after a big day of fun at the park. Dad, can we have a snack? Bob asked. You know, you got to have a snack after the park.
That's true.
Dad checks the fridge. Dad checks the pantry. Dad checks the secret snack nook. Do you have one of those at your house?
Not a secret one. I think my whole family knows it.
We need to buy groceries, says Dad.
Notice this behind me?
Well, I did notice that when we came in. Looks like somebody's been buying some groceries.
It definitely looks like some groceries in here. And you know, when you think about this idea of, you know, learning is all around you, I mean, just pick up a box and think about all the learning that's here. Here we have a cereal box, and one activity that I think is really neat is you look at how many grams, right? How many grams do you see in this box?
252.
252 grams. So you could ask your child, you know, how many hundreds, how many tens, how many ones, looking at those numbers. Another thing I like to look at are these nutrition facts that they have on the side. Have you ever looked at those?
Well, you know, I do, and I see people doing that in the supermarket.
Right, so they're looking a lot of times like what is one serving, how many servings are in a box. You can even figure out how many calories in a serving. With that information, how many calories in the box.
You know, Miss Cindy, there's aisles in the grocery stores and they're numbered, which is another great way for students to learn to count or number sense.
Right, even recognizing numbers. That's awesome. But you know what, Miss Sherry, I want some more of that book. Can you get back to that?
I sure can. And speaking of aisles, they almost pass aisle 8 when Pete remembers eggs. Regular or jumbo, asks Pete. Jumbo, says Dad. Groovy, says Pete. Bob can't pick between spaghetti and macaroni in aisle 7. How about bow ties? Asked Dad. Awesome, says Bob. Get it, see? Bow tie pasta, bow ties.
I like that. And I keep thinking about they did aisle 8, aisle 7. I'm making a prediction which aisle's going to come next.
What do you think?
Oh, it's got to be aisle 6.
Well, you're exactly right. Aisle 6 smells fruity. Remember the apple, says Pete. Remember the raspberry, says Bob.
Wonder if 5 is next.
Well, it sure is. Oh, and you're going to love aisle 4. In aisle 5, Dad tastes a hot dog. Yummy. In aisle 4, Pete tastes a cupcake.
One of my favorites.
I love cupcakes.
Speaking of cupcakes, I'm going to grab some friends. We're going to head to the grocery store and pick up the ingredients, then head over to Overall Creek to make some cupcakes.
Sounds exciting.
It does. Back to you, Maria.
Thanks, Miss Cindy. You know, when you think about it, there's math everywhere at the grocery store. I know Miss Cindy loves the store and is so excited to share with us how to pretend to set up grocery stores in our house.
The power of pretending is an incredible gift that most children enjoy, and it's a shame we grow out of it. So let's continue with our grocery adventure and join Miss Cindy with her new friends at our new pretend grocery store.
Well, we just heard a story by Miss Sherry on going to the grocery store. So we're going to do our own pretend grocery store today. And we have 2 special people with me today. I'm so excited. We have Juliet, a rising 1st grader, and we have Alex, a rising 4th grader. Oh my goodness. And so we're going to do some pretend shopping today. And we know that we're making lemon cupcakes today. So as we think about those lemon cupcakes, and we have our pantry here, and we know at home you could do the same thing. Take some items out of your pantry and label up some prices. And we're going to do a little math in this pantry today, okay? So for the lemon cupcakes today, our first ingredient that we're going to need is some lemon pudding. Do y'all see any lemon? Well, Juliet, do you mind grabbing that? Mm-hmm. And how much is that?
It's $1.
It is $1, okay? So, and do you see how much, I always think it's interesting, you know, when we look at this, how many grams, see that label right there? How many grams are in that? Can you read that number?
96.
96 grams, okay, so that weighs about 96 grams, okay? The other ingredient, we need another one, hold on to that. Alex, I think we are gonna need a lemon cake mix. Do you see that?
It's up there.
Oh, it is up there. How much is it?
It's $1.25.
Okay, it's $1.25. Alex, I'm gonna ask you a question here. Hers is $1, yours is $1.25. What's the difference?
This one has 25 cents. That one only has $1.
So which one's more?
This one.
So we're paying about 25 cents more for this one. How many grams are in this box? And before you know, you think if there's going to be more grams in hers or in your box?
Or this one.
Yes, can you read it? It'll have the G's down there.
It says 432.
Oh, that's quite a few more. So which one are we thinking is the heaviest one, Juliet?
That one.
That one, okay. I'm going to set these items over here because we're not finished yet. So another ingredient that we're going to need today are the eggs. Do you see the eggs, Juliet? Do you see them?
Right there.
Oh, and how much are the eggs?
It's $1.50.
$1.50, okay. We're going to have you hold those, okay. We're going to need the oil. What about you, Alex? Do you see the...
It's right there.
Oh, it is. And how much is that?
It's $3.
Okay, now, Alex, I'm going to ask you again, what is the difference in cost?
The difference between $3 and $1.50 is another $1.50.
Oh, so I could say it's double. It's double the cost of the eggs for the oil. So now we have all the ingredients to make our lemon cupcakes. And parents, this is a great opportunity. We have the prices, you've got everything laid out. Let's do some mental math. And this is a good time to have the kids working on that, building that fluency over the summer. So Alex, let's work on that. Do you mind helping me out over here?
Sure thing.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Alex, so thinking about these ingredients, what is going to be your strategy for adding these together?
So we're basically gonna add up all the dollars first, then
Okay.
add the cents.
Okay, so talk me through it. What are you going to start with?
So why don't we start with adding the $3 to the 2 other dollars?
Okay, so what's that give you?
That's $5.
Okay.
then you should add the $1 from here, so it gives you $6, then $7, then $8.
Got it?
So then we go to the 75, because 75 is the biggest number we have. If you do 75 plus 25, after you get the 2 and the 7 together, that gives you 9, which gives you the 90 cents, plus the 5 and the 5, which is 10, that gives you $1. So then you add that dollar to the $8 we've already added, that gives you $9. So after we made the $9, then all we have left is the 50 cents. So that's $9.50.
Excellent. And you know, it's interesting. 25 is a friendly number, and it can be a benchmark number for children. So kind of keep that in mind when you're pricing, because when I think about this, I also wanted to put the 75 and the 25 together, but because I know quarters, 75 is 3 quarters, and another quarter, if I have 4 quarters, I have $1. So I had that same strategy, Alex, except I was thinking of 25 as a friendly number, that benchmark number, and thought of it in quarters. So do you have enough money to pay for this?
Let's see.
Okay.
So we got 2 5s, which is $10.
Well, how much did you say it was?
It was $9.50.
So can you give me $9.50?
So we have a 5, and we do have 4 1s.
Okay, I'll take that.
So that's $9.
Okay.
And then
What else do you owe me?
we got 50 cents, but all I have left is 2 5s.
Huh. So do you have any change?
Let me see.
Yeah, keep digging.
Well, I do have 2 quarters, which would equal 50 cents.
Oh, that will work. Awesome. Because you know what, parents, you could also have it where one of your children's the cashier and would make change, or you could require exact change to make it. Alex, great job with that. Thank you so much for the $9.50, because now you have purchased all these ingredients for those cupcakes. I also appreciate those strategies that you shared with mental math. So now we're going to bag them up. We're going to send them with you over to Overall Creek, because you know what's going to happen next. What's happening?
We're gonna make some cupcakes.
Awesome. Throwing it back to you, Dr. Duke.
Great math, Alex. Now just remember that items used in pretend grocery stores need to be put back in the cabinets when you're finished playing.
You're right. So we've read a book, used math for pricing and measurements. Where's the science, Dr. Duke?
Well, that's a great question. So let's head over to Overall Creek and meet up with our science coordinator, Mrs. Barge, to see how she will pull this experience together.
Miss Ortiz, here's the ingredients.
Thank you guys
Thank
so
you.
much.
Don't forget to hang around so you can taste the cupcakes.
Let's go!
Thank you, Cindy, for doing the math. Miss Ortiz, do you like to bake cakes?
I do like baking cakes, but I typically get them from the grocery store.
Well, I like to bake because there's a lot of science involved in baking.
Is there?
There is. You want to talk about the science of a cake today?
I do.
All right. We're getting ready to mix several ingredients together. That is an example of a physical change. When we put the egg in, it's still going to be an egg. It just may look a little bit different. For example, this Play-Doh. It's the shape of a ball, but if I flatten it, it's still Play-Doh. It just has a different shape. Still Play-Doh. This is a physical change. Let's get started.
All right, let's go, Miss Barge. This recipe calls for 1 box of lemon cake mix, so I'll get that going, and if you'll grab 3 eggs, that's what this recipe calls for as well. We also need a small box of lemon instant pudding. We've got some of that here. Last ingredient is 3/4 cup of oil.
Cindy would be proud of us.
That's right. Got the right measurements.
1,
Just a 3/4 cup.
2, Do you know why we're doing 3?
I don't. Why are we?
Because it's a 4th cup.
Ah, you check the measurement. Very cool. Let's set this here.
And the very last ingredient
Is a 12-ounce serving of Sundrop. Wait a minute, Miss Barch, is that 12 ounces?
No, we're gonna have to estimate.
All right, let's do
Okay,
it.
where do you think? Over here?
That's a 16-ounce bottle, so yes,
4
more
ounces?
than half for sure. Oh, wow, look at that. What's going on there, Miss Barch?
Oh, let's talk about this. So, do you like fluffy cakes?
I do.
We talked about a physical change. Now let's talk about a chemical change. Did you notice all those bubbles?
I did notice all those bubbles.
That is carbonation from the soft drink. But we also can have bubbles when we have a chemical change. So right now we're gonna mix this up and we'll have a mixture. Remember, the egg is still the egg, the cake mix is still the cake mix. It has all kinds of ingredients in it that the stores mix for us.
That's right.
But one of those ingredients will cause a chemical reaction. Let's talk about what a chemical reaction looks like. So I have some baking soda and I have some vinegar. I want you to watch what happens when I pour this in.
Oh, that's what happened to my cake mix.
Yes. So these two ingredients form together. This is no longer just baking soda and just vinegar. They created something new. And that produced gas bubbles. And those bubbles let us know that air was being trapped in that liquid. So when this cake is mixed up and put into the oven, the heat will cause a chemical reaction. And bubbles will occur and get trapped in that cake, and they'll rise as the cake heats up. We'll also know a chemical change has occurred because we will no longer be able to see the egg. Once that egg is part of a cake and heated up, it's never going to be an egg again. But when those bubbles rise and get trapped, that's what makes a cake fluffy. It'll change colors. If you ever seen a cake, sometimes it might be lighter, but then when you bake it, maybe it turns a darker yellow. So chemical changes can make things look a different color.
They also make them smell a little
I
different.
was
Miss
just going
Barch.
there. You know, I love to walk into a house after someone's been baking a cake. Chemical changes can also produce an odor or a smell. We like this chemical change.
We do.
It looks pretty good. You ready to pour it in?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right.
Miss Barch, this has been so much fun. I've learned so much about science. I didn't know there was this much science in baking cupcakes.
Yes, and at home, there's a lot of science that you can do in the kitchen. Just Google it. All kinds of ingredients right in your kitchen to do at home with your family. Miss Ortiz, I noticed you're only filling those 3/4 full. That's really wise. Those trapped air bubbles that we talked about, that's gonna make that cake rise.
We don't want it to overfill.
Good point.
All right, it looks like these are ready to go in the oven, Miss Barch.
Let's activate that chemical change with the heat from the oven.
I smell cupcakes.
Ah, you want to try the cake? We've done the science. Now it's time to let them eat cake. Back to you, Dr. Duke.
I can smell the cupcakes from here. Miss Barch and Miss Ortiz did a fantastic job.
Wait, Dr. Duke, I think I actually see some cupcakes.
Me too, and they look great. I love how Miss Barch can turn anything into a science experiment. Science, reading, math, they're literally everywhere.
So kids, did you find the s'more, the camper, and the lantern?
We sure hope you did. We've had a great time on this episode of Take 20, and we can't wait to see you next time. Until then, remember that in MCS we're working every day to make sure our students are known, safe, challenged, and empowered. Now, let's go get those cupcakes.
Bye, guys.